When given the task of naming the third Xbox console, Microsoft's marketing department did what any educated people would do and called it Xbox One. The rationale at the time was that the Xbox One was intended as an integrated entertainment system. This was a fundamental miscalculation of their audience. Gamers wanted to feel like their console brand of choice was primarily interested in gaming. Anything else was considered to be not important. You know what else is not important? My name. You know what is important? Number 10. The Witcher 3. Polish game distributor turned developer CD Projekt Red's first major IP acquisition was local fantasy series The Witcher, written by Andrzej Sapkowski. Yes, I butchered that, I know. This turned out to be the gaming equivalent of gaining the rights to Game of Thrones, as by the third entry, The Witcher had become a well-known franchise. The third game, subtitled Wild Hunt, has become legendary, beloved by critics and gamers alike, and hyped as one of the greatest games of all time. This time around, Geralt of Rivia is let loose on a huge open world with innumerable side quests and distractions to fill your time. Geralt is fully voiced, has multiple routes through conversations, and has plenty of opportunities for romance. The combat system was inspired by Demon's Souls and focuses on swordplay and magic attacks. The Xbox release of Witcher 3 currently stands at 91 on Metacritic, having garnered excellent reviews from most major publications, including Game of the Year awards from Golden Joystick, Game Awards, DICE, and others. Number 9. What Remains of Edith Finch. You can tell this is the critics list. What Remains of Edith Finch is part of the genre sometimes referred to disparagingly as walking simulator, whereby the goal is to explore and discover the mystery of the Finch family curse. You explore the family home, searching through artifacts of their lives and playing through flashbacks of their final moments. Developed by indie studio Giant Sparrow, Edith Finch is rated quite highly in the Games as Art category. The Xbox version scores 92 on Metacritic, with most of the less positive scores seemingly pointed towards technical or mechanical issues within the game. User reviews are less kind, with many gamers taking issue with this being defined as a game given the lack of traditional game objectives. Number 8. Divinity Original Sin 2. Released in 2017, this turn-based isometric RPG offers an immersive experience for up to 4 players in local co-op. The storyline branches off according to decisions you make throughout the game, with even your character design choices affecting how NPCs react to you. Like many modern RPGs, the central story arc is only part of the game, and the side quests in Original Sin 2 have plenty of meat to them, and most quests and engagements have more than one resolution. Prefer a non-violent solution? Give it a try, it might work. Just make sure everyone in your party agrees, because it only takes one Leroy Jenkins to ruin it for the rest of your party. The Xbox One version of Divinity Original Sin 2 currently holds a score of 92, with the majority of publications rating it 9 out of 10 or higher, and it won Best RPG at Gamescom 2018. Number 7. Forza Horizon 4. Forza was once an Xbox exclusive series, but as of late has also been shared out onto the Microsoft Store for PC users to enjoy. Forza's Horizon games take the series away from the pure simulation style and towards a more arcade experience. The game takes place in a scaled down version of the UK and offers an open world driving experience. The game has dynamically changing weather and experiences weekly season changes, which proves it's all fictional. Real British seasons last about a day. Reviews have again been generally excellent, with a few outliers decrying the feeling of grinding and the random assignation of loot. On the whole, most reviews exceeded 9 out of 10, giving the Xbox version a Metacritic rating of 92. Number 6. Inside. Inside is a stylish, atmospheric, side-scrolling puzzle platform game from the team behind Limbo. As with Limbo, the game aesthetic is kept simple, with design focused on form, animation and lighting rather than texture and colour. However, Inside goes way beyond its predecessor in its variety and scope. Its puzzles are often more complex, but also more forgiving and less repetitive. Games that are categorised as artsy frequently do well with reviewers and less well at retail, and while Inside has sold pretty well for an indie title, it still won't be troubling GTA 5 anytime soon. Nevertheless, it scored very well with the majority of reviewers, scoring 93 aggregate on Metacritic. Number 5. Resident Evil 2. Resident Evil 2 2019 is a remake of the 1998 original. A remake in the sense that John Carpenter's The Thing was a remake, a radical improvement in every way that a game can be improved. With the same core playable characters, same general location and same antagonists. However, Capcom don't seem to have been interested in a simple HD remaster of the original, and so have remade the game in the style of later games in the series. It uses the RE engine from Resident Evil 7, with all its high resolutions, high polygon counts, advanced lighting and texturing, and couples it with the over-the-shoulder perspective of series highlight Resident Evil 4. As well as the improved visuals, the sound and voice acting have all been brought up to the standards the world has come to expect of video games. The remake was a hit with reviewers and fans alike, scoring 93 on Metacritic. Number 4. Celeste. It's easy to look at Celeste's art style and write it off as another indie pixel art platformer, and in fairness, it is exactly that. A modern game with an ancient aesthetic. Also, the game is an allegory for overcoming depression, written by people who clearly understand and care deeply about the subject. Whether or not you have an aversion to anything that could be labelled as deep or artsy, Celeste's heavier story elements can be skipped altogether, leaving you with gameplay that is best described as easy to pick up, hard to master. It is a precise, skill-oriented platformer, like a more methodical Super Meat Boy. Controls are extremely pared down, and successfully navigating a level involves careful use of jumps, dashes and climbs. There's plenty of opportunity for exploration, as levels are filled with hidden areas, collectibles and alternate versions. Celeste won numerous Indie Game Awards in 2018 and even took home Action Game of the Year at the 2018 DICE Awards. It currently holds a rating of 94 on Metacritic. Number 3. Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain. Hideo Kojima's epic final chapter in the Metal Gear series released on Xbox One and other platforms in 2015 to a huge amount of industry hype. It wouldn't be known until later, but it would end up being Kojima's final project for Konami and would see its story left unresolved. That story, set in 1984, acts as a prequel to the original Metal Gear. Protagonist Venom Snake is out for revenge in Soviet-occupied Afghanistan and at the war-torn Angola-Zaire border. Metal Gear Solid 5 continues the series' signature stealth gameplay. Base building is developed further in the Phantom Pain, allowing the player to recruit enemy troops and acquire enemy vehicles to bolster your own base defences. They even get you a cake and sing on your birthday. Internal conflicts at Konami heavily impacted the finished product and were the cause of many of the game's flaws. However, even in its unfinished state, the Phantom Pain was seen as a worthy end to the series and scored consistently above 9 out of 10 with the gaming press. Metacritic holds the Xbox version at 95. One can only speculate how much higher it might have scored if it had been finished. The last two games in the list hold the same score on Metacritic. I'm sure that you'll have your own favourite that you'll call number 1, and I'm sure you'll also let me know how wrong I am in the comments. However, this is the not important list, and I get to choose. With that in mind... Number 2. Grand Theft Auto 5. Rockstar's GTA series is one of those rare titles that spawns a subgenre of imitators. Saints Row, Just Cause, Watch Dogs, Mafia, even the game that holds the number 1 spot in this list is arguably a GTA clone. From humble top-down beginnings to this sprawling epic, GTA has always been the definition of an open-world game. Go where you want, do what you want. Feel like being a gangster? GTA lets you do it. Want to obey the law, stop at every stop sign and never stray onto the wrong side of the law? It's arguably more difficult than being a criminal, but you can do it if you're disciplined enough. GTA 5 was released across 2 console generations and has been a fixture in the sales chart for some 6 years at this point, with its online content still seeing updates today. Despite the usual moral issues writers and critics have struggled with since the early days of Grand Theft Auto, GTA 5's Xbox One release has earned a massive 97 on Metacritic, placing it on equal footing to... Number 1. Red Dead Redemption 2. Rockstar hits it out of the park one more time with the eagerly awaited prequel to 2010's Red Dead Redemption. This time round, the player is placed in the role of Arthur Morgan, a lieutenant in the Van der Linde gang, as they rob and kill their way through a fictionalised version of the American Old West. Despite the story, which is every bit as engaging and well told as its predecessor, the player is given the freedom to do as they wish. You can strike out into the frontier, wrangle a horse, live off the land, and hunt animals for food and crafting materials. You can rob stagecoaches or trains. However, in Red Dead Redemption, your moral decisions have greater weight than in the GTA series. RDR2 is a more in-depth, rewarding experience all round, with less of the cynicism of the modern world. Red Dead Redemption won Critics' Choice Award at the 2018 Golden Joysticks and Game of the Year at the Italian Video Game Awards. It's currently the joint highest scoring game on Metacritic. And that's my list. How many of these do you own? Did the appearance of any entry shake you to your very foundations? Let me know below. While you're down there, kindly do the usual YouTube things if you feel so inclined. Check out some of my other videos, and I'll see you next time.